Next is introductions. Highways are improved roads designed to facilitate mobility between locations, catering to transportation, accessibility, and social interaction. Industrialized nations rely on road networks for rapid development, and maintaining this infrastructure is crucial for their functionality. Pavement distress caused by factors like temperature, moisture content, traffic volume, and subgrade movement affects users' comfort and safety. Common types of pavement distress include pothole cracking, weathering, patching, and alligator cracking. This study aimed to collect information on pavement types and calculate the PCI for each sample unit, assessing pavement conditions. The PCI provide a reliable assessment of a network's pavement conditions, allowing local governments to evaluate the effectiveness and quality of their road infrastructures.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Ali Faikal and I do part for methodology. So for methodology part, we use a pavement condition index method, which is PCI. PCI through an observation of the pavement condition index method determines the PCI value for pavements, and numerical evaluation of the pavement condition. The pavement condition goes from 0 to 100, where 100 represents the ideal condition and cover the worst. So for the other part for our project, we dividing pavement into the unit sample. There have 10 unit sample. For each section have been divided to 10 section, which is 100 meter for each section. The failure of the road will analyzed by each section. The length and the width of the area for each for the road is 1 kilometer and the width is 6.47 meter. The sample interval is determined using the following equation, which is interval equal to n per n. So the step for calculating the PCI for the step 1 is determine the deduct value for each failure depends on each graph. Step 2, determine maximum allowable number of deducts. Step 3, determine maximum corrected deduct value. And the last step is calculate PCI by subtracting the maximum CDV from 100. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Amir Iqmal, nama Kamiti AF220035. So I will continue the data analysis. So we firstly we calculate the selecting sample unit. There is a interval I equal to n big N over small n. So big N is a total number of sample unit of section, and for and a small n is a minimum number of sample unit to be inspected. So 10 over 5 equal to 2, and the section choose is 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. So we go to the section 1 is we go firstly the step 1 is determine the distress density and deduct value. So the road we choose is Jalan Paris Badan Laut Pak Raja, and we see in section 1 is have two distress. There is a pothole and bleeding. So pothole we have 3 type. There is high, medium and low, and for bleeding is medium. And the total we get from total quantity, and density, percentage density we get use a formula total sum of quantity over sample area. Sample area is 6.46 multiply 100, and deduct value we get from graph deduct value and percentage density. So step 2 is determine maximum allowable number of deduct. So the highest deduct value is 75, and the formula of maximum allowable number of deduct is 1 plus 9 over 98 multiply 100 minus height deduct value. So the deduct value is 75, and we get answer 3.3. And deduct value in descending order is 75, 52, 22 and 6, and the number of deduct value is 4. So since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 3.3 less than 4, therefore only first, third and 0.3 of the for deduct value are select. That is 75, 52, 22 and 6. So we assume 0.3 is 0. So for the step 3 is determine maximum correction deduct value. So the number of the deduct value greater than 2 is 4, and the total deduct value is 155, and we the corrected deduct value is determined by referring to the graph total deduct value in ASTM this 643307 page 42, as show the appendix B ASTM International 2007. So the reduce the smaller individual deduct value to Q equal to 4, and determine the correction deduct value, and the process was repeated until the Q equal to 1 as shown in a table. So the maximal correction deduct value is 77. So for step 4 is determine the paywave condition index. So formula for pavement condition index is 100 minus correction deduct value high maximum. So the maximum is 77, and we get 23. So based on the standard PCI rating scala and suggested color shown in appendix B, this sample of unit 1 is in a serious condition. So for section 3, the step is same like section 1. So the first step is determine the distress density and deduct value. So the distress we get from this road is angle cracking and joint reflection cracking. So the joint reflection cracking, we have two type, is low and medium. So the density we use formula total sum of quantity over sample area, and for deduct value we get from graph deduct value versus their percentage density. And step 2 is determine maximum allowable number of deduct. So highest deduct value is 11. So the formula of maximum allowable number of deduct is 1 plus 9 over 98 multiply 100 minus height deduct value. So the answer is 9.17, and deduct value in a descending order is 11, 11, 2, and the number of deduct value is 3. And since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 9.17 more than 3, therefore all the 3 deduct value is used. Step 3 is determine maximum correction deduct value. So the number of deduct value greater than 2 is Q equal to 3 and total deduct value is 24, and the correction deduct value is determined by referring the graph total deduct value in ASTM D643307 page 42, and we reduce the smaller individual deduct value to 2, Q equal to 3, and determine the correction deduct value. The process was repeated until Q equal to 1, and the maximum correction deduct value is 17. So step 4 is determine the pavement condition index. So the formula of pavement condition index is 100 minus corrected deduct value maximum. So the correct deduct value maximum is 17. So the final answer for pavement condition index is 83. So based on the standard PCI rating scale and suggested color shown in appendix B, this sample of unit 3 is satisfactory condition. So we go to the section 5. So the step 1 is determine the distress density and deduct value. So this distress in this road we get is lane shoulder drop off and alligator cracking. So for shoulder drop off ni have two type, is low and medium, and alligator cracking have two type, that is low and medium. So formula for density is total sum of quantity over sample area, and deduct value we get from graph the percentage the density versus deduct value. So for step 2 is determine maximum allowable number of deduct. So highest deduct value is for 14, and the final answer for maximum allowable number of deduct is 8.9. So the deduct value in descending order 75, 52, 22 and 6, and the number of deduct value is 4. And since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 8.9, more than 4, therefore all the 4 deduct value is used. So step 3 is determine maximum correction deduct value. So number of deduct value greater than 2 is Q equal to 4, and for total deduct value is 24, and the correction deduct value is determined by referring to the graph total deduct value in ASTM 6433 page 07 page 42, and reduce the smallest individual deduct value to Q equal to 4, and determine the correction deduct value. The process was repeating until Q equal to 1, and the maximum corrected deduct value is 12. So step 4 is determine pay wave condition index. So the corrected deduct value is maximum is 12, and the value we key in the formula we get 88. So based on the standard PCI rating scala and suggested color shown in appendix B, this sample of unit 5 is in a good condition. So this is section 7. For step 1 is determine the distress density and deduct value. So the type of distress we get is two type, that is alligator cracking and shoulder drop off. So we have two type of alligator cracking, that is low and medium, and for shoulder drop off there is have two type, that is low and medium. So formula for density is total sum of quantity over caseable area, and for deduct value we get from graph deduct value over versus percentage density. Step 2 determine maximum allowable number of deducts. So highest deduct value is 24. So the value we key in the formula that we get 7.69. So the deduct value in descending order is 24, 5, 0 and 0. So number of deduct value is 2. Since the maximum allowable number of deduct is 7.98 more than 2, therefore all the 2 deduct value is used. Step 3 determine maximum correction deduct value. So number of deduct value greater than 2 is Q equal to 2. So total of deduct value is 29. So the correction deduct value is determined by referring the graph total deduct value in ASTM D643307 page 42. And reduce the small individual deduct value to 2, Q equal to 2, and determine the correction deduct value. And the process was repeated until Q equal to 1. So maximum correction deduct value is 21. Step 4 is determining the pavement condition index. So pavement condition index, the formula is 100 minus correction deduct value, so the maximum. So the correction deduct value maximum is 21. So the answer is 79. So based on the standard PCI rating scale and suggested color show in appendix B, the sample of unit 7 is the satisfactory condition. So for section 9, step 1 is determine the distress density and deduct value. So the distress or in this road in section 9 have shoulder drop off and alligator cracking, and the formula for percentage density is a total sum of quantity over sample area, and for deduct value we get from a graph percentage density versus deduct value. Step 2 is determine maximum allowable number of deduct. So highest deduct value is 25. So here the value we key in a formula and we get 7.89. So the deduct value is descending order is 25, 5, 2 and 0. So number of the deduct value is 3. Since the maximum allowable number of deducts is 7.89 greater than 3, therefore all the 3 deduct value is used. So step 3 is determine maximum correction deduct value. So number of deduct value greater than 2 is Q equal to 3. So total of deduct value is 32, and the correction deduct value is determined by referring the graph total deduct value in ASTM D643307 page 42, and reduce in a smaller individual deduct value to 2, Q equal to 3, and determine the correction deduct value. The process was repeated until the Q equal to 1, and the maximum of correction deduct value is 26. Step 4 is determine the pavement condition index. The pavement condition index, the formula is 100 minus corrected deduct value maximum. The corrected deduct value maximum is 26, and the final answer is 74. So based on the standard PCI rating scalar and suggested color show in appendix B, this sample of unit 9 is a satisfactory condition. That's all. Thank you.
Next is a discussion on the result. The highway project at Jalan Sepadan Laut, Parit Raja involved the village road basic type of distressing condition, which is the pothole, building, edge cracking, joint reflection cracking, lane shoulder drop off, and alligator cracking. The road was divided into the 3 categories: low, medium, and high. Despite obstacle, the lecturer helped find a solution. The road was measured and assessed. and it was found to be in serious condition on the pavement condition index requiring construction. Next is the discussion on maintenance method should be needed to improve the PIC. The pavement condition index PIC was used to assess the road condition with value ranking on 0 to 100. The result shown a maximum of 75 and a minimum of 5. The average rating of 212 indicate the road in rebuilding, with recommended approach being the entire repair. For the conclusion, the distress survey from Jalan Parit Sepadan Laut, Parit Raja revealed the various issues such as a pothole, building, joint cracking, alligator cracking, shoulder drop off, and edge cracking. The average PCI value for the road of is 10, indicating critical disrepair. The survey also revealed the longitudinal cracking and rutting occur in the same region, but unpolished aggregate is not measured in the same region. Spelling refers to further pavement breaking or material loss at joint or cracks. Faulting is only caught at joint, corner break, split slab, and joint seal deterioration. Shrinkage crack are not counted if the slab is broken into 4 and more or more parts. That's all for us. Thank you.